On the surgery table we have two iPhone 6s. One of them has more duct tape on it than I have friends. It turns on and it works, but it looks like a tractor drove over it 7 times. Today's mission is to transplant its heart into the other shell. Now if you're wondering how much did it cost me, this beautiful piece of glass cereal cost me 10 buckaroos, which is funny because transporting to the location cost me 3 times more. The purpose of this phone will be to record my desk when I work on electronics, because the current phone that I have is a Huawei P20 Lite, which is a piece of shattered glass without duct tape. And I'm hoping that the camera on the iPhone will be a few times better. And the battery is disconnected. This one here is the good shell one with a good screen. Let's put this screen on the cracked one and see if everything is working. Open up the bad one, take off the bracket, 6 screws or 5, I don't know, it's a stupid design. Who designed this? Like, there's like 5 screws and all of them are different lengths. If you mix up the holes for the screws, you're just gonna make a hole inside of the motherboard and then you're in for a good ride. And the old screen is off. Put the new one in, connect the ribbon cables, turn it on, let there be light. We have picture, no discoloration, no lines, the screen works. Now let's check if the touch is working. Okay, doesn't seem like there's any problem with the screen. And the front facing camera is also working. Yeah, that sounds good. It's getting a little bit hot, but nothing serious so far. So this thing 12 years after its release is still working like new, whereas the laptops that you can buy on Black Friday are gonna break the next day your warranty expires. They don't make them like they used to, and they don't make them for the same purpose that they used to. Today electronics is just disposable waste, and all resources focused on software that abuses users' privacy. There is no focus on quality of the products and no quality assurance, because if it works you won't buy a new one. Yeah, so we're cleaning the ports here. There's a lot of dust, debris, nails, I don't know, boogers, whatever has accumulated in the last decade. We just slap on some isopropyl alcohol and use my own toothbrush to spice up the taste for me in the evening. Look at that, ain't it beautiful? Rusty, dusty, crusty, swimming in isopropyl alcohol, the perfect mix. And that looks absolutely perfect for me. Okay, I'm joking, I did clean it like 3 times more. Trust me, bro. Back at it to the disassembly of the... what did I call this? Glass cereal. If you made it this far into the video, drop a trash can emoji. I don't know, that sounds like good. Just so I know if the video is bussin' or not. And mind you, leave some feedback so I know how can I be better. Anyway, back to the point. The battery on this device is attached with 2 glue strips. I was very surprised to find that this is still an original battery. I have no idea how that's possible, because usually batteries last about 2 to 5 years depending on how you use it. On the newer models like the iPhone 16 or whatever they call it, the batteries are attached using glue that can debond when you apply current. And they call it innovation. Wow, wouldn't it be easier just to use like 2 screws? Or better yet, design the phone like they were designed 20 years ago, where you don't need anything to hold the battery inside. It's not innovation, it's degradation, because those expenses for innovating could have been spent on something useful to the user. For example, an audio jack, which I'm happy to say that this phone does have. Thanks, Apple, in the past, before you were horrible. Thanks to EU for actually making it less horrible. And the motherboard is out. Look at that thing. Simple 2-sided design without a sandwich motherboard, which comes from the iPhone Xs. Before assembling back, just want to make sure that the lens is clean. Same procedure as before, just backwards, putting in all of the screws and the brackets inside. Also putting in the camera back and connecting the ribbon connector to the motherboard. I did not remove the old adhesive from the battery because I think that will be enough to hold the battery from the donor. Going to the screens, the healthy screen has this small rubber gasket which has slipped a little bit and it's covering half of the camera lens, so all I'm gonna do is remove the top bracket and fix its position. As for the bottom part, I'm gonna move the button with the Touch ID from the cracked screen into the good one. The screws on the good display have been not fully screwed in, so somebody has been in here before me. Well, that would make sense because the phone is like 10 years old. Let me check, how old is it? Man, the phone was released in 2014. You know what else happened in 2014? A company called Purism was founded, which were saying that they will make the privacy something something Linux phone, which sounded really good on paper, until they never shipped the device and everybody who believed in them paid money and didn't receive anything after a long 2 years or whatever, and Purism did everything not to refund any single customer. That's all I actually remember. But the point is, we're now removing the battery, which is basically the final step of this repair, even if I can call it like that. Final oily touches of making sure the battery is flat and connecting the good screen to the phone. Crazy timing, and the battery ran out on the camera. But here it is, it works, the screen is good. The only issue is with Touch ID not working and the home button not waking the device when it's sleeping. You must click the power button to wake it up, and only then the home button will work. Moment of truth. Was it all worth the hassle to swap the motherboard? Let's compare the recording footage between the Huawei and the iPhone. The file size seems to be smaller on the iPhone. Let's see, how does this do? The microphone doesn't pick up sound well. Absolutely perfect for me. I did clean it like 3 times more.
Trust me, bro.
It seems that it's only an issue in my video editor. Either way, I'm gonna be using an external microphone. Right off the bat, when comparing the two, we can see that the Huawei has a way bigger field of view, which for my use cases is not necessary. The Huawei footage somehow looks under and overexposed. How is that even possible? Which is not exactly what I need, because I have bad lighting. When looking at the detail up close, iPhone's quality seems better, probably because of the field of view. When comparing the stabilization, of course iPhone is better because it has the in-body image stabilization. I guess just to conclude, I'm just gonna use the iPhone for now, and we'll see if 16 gigabytes of memory is enough. Otherwise we will probably add more. I don't know. Subscribe.